Welcome to the Voices of the Goddess podcast. We believe that there is a goddess inside each and every one of us. When we use our voice to share that goddess, we support and uplift each other. Join us each week as we interview women to receive the message of their goddess within. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast, where we empower, inspire, and uplift women to become the goddesses they are meant to be. I am Julietta. I am a physical therapist here in sunny South Florida, originally from the Midwest, Wisconsin. I'm a cat mom, I'm a jeweler, I'm an artist, I'm a podcaster, I'm an author, I do all that in addition to my healing / lots of titles. It's a lot and it's amazing. And I am joined here by another amazing goddess. Allison, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, everybody. My name is Allison Mancini, and I am a holistic nutritionist, originally from Michigan. I call that home, a couple Midwest girls here. And but I've been in South Florida for almost 30 years. I can't believe I'm even saying that. I know.
So you must have moved here right after you were born, right?
Exactly. And got married shortly thereafter. I also was married very young, seriously, but not seriously. And then also, I have two amazing children, adult children, 25 and 22. I have been married for over 28 years, so I have an amazing husband. But I'm currently coming to you guys from Texas, where it's like, I don't know, it's probably maybe 54 out now, but I'm loving it. I have long sleeves on, I have jeans on, I have got my cozy sweater ready for later. I'm like so excited. But you know what I'm really excited about?
What are you really excited about?
Helping all these amazing women, not only as a podcaster, but as a nutritionist. I really enjoy everything that we're doing. And it's just really sharing with women and helping them grow and being the best that they can be, right?
Absolutely. And, I guess this is episode 73. And, when we started this, I was all like, yeah, let's give it a try, see what happens. Kind of didn't really expect much of it. But the feedback that we get, I've had people like, oh my God, this person said this thing and it literally changed my life. And like, I didn't expect those things and they're happening. And then I go back, like, why shouldn't have? Of course I should have expected them. Like, yes, this was going to be an amazing supporting tool for women out there, but it's super exciting. And you know what else is really cool that we're doing this month? Because it's November. To me, like since November contains the holiday of Thanksgiving, giving thanks, I look at the whole month as a month of gratitude. So in our Facebook group, we've started a 30-day gratitude challenge. And, we're on I haven't seen what today's post is. It'll come up in a little bit, but I'll make sure to enter my gratitude in that topic for the day. But I love how many people are joining in and participating with us. So if you're watching this show now and you want to join us on the gratitude challenge, get in our Facebook group, A Circle of Goddesses, and join along with us, because gratitude will change your life.
It totally helps you look at things differently. Like even just the idea of, instead of and we've talked about this with past guests, instead of having a to-do list, it's a get to do, right? Like
I don't have to do, I get to do.
Right. And the book so inside of our Facebook group, we also have a book. Yeah. And the book that we're reading, like I got through the first section and I was like, holy cow, like we are like, it's so amazing how many, I'm going to totally digress here for a second, but when my daughter was born, shortly after she was born, we found out she had some pretty serious medical conditions, and she's my second born. So I had an older one. And when you realize everything that has to go into just our bodies, just So just in the exact way that they do for everything to functionally work, right? That right there is freaking amazing. Like, we should be so grateful that we wake up every morning and we can breathe in the air that we breathe. Like, and that's what I love about the first part of that book and talking about gratitude and all of that. Like, it is so, like, you do need to, I hate saying you need to, but look at it from the perspective of, you wake up every morning and you take a breath. Like, do you know how miraculous that is? Do you know how many systems in your body have to make that happen? Like, it's just mind blowing to me, totally mind blowing to me. And I love the gratitude practice we're doing in the group. Everyone's like so interactive, and like, what was yesterday? Something you're beautiful, be grateful for something, beautiful. Yeah. And some of the pictures that people posted and the things that they are grateful that are beautiful were just so like heartwarming and just touching. And I loved it. So I'm excited. And we're only on day 3. And I can't remember what today's is either, but it'll post soon.
We'll find when it pops up in the group. And also back to the book a little bit. I love, like, she really, like, I thought that I was already like doing the gratitude thing, and she really like bumps it up to a whole new level. And we're only through the first part of the book, and just like already has given so many tools to access that gratitude on a deeper, richer level. So I'm enjoying this book and looking forward to the rest of it. But Allison, I think it's time for us to bring on our guest.
I agree with you. Let me grab her from backstage. Hello, Beatriz.
Hello, Julieta. Hello, Allison. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show. Would you please introduce yourself to our audience? Tell them a little bit about you and what you do.
Yes, of course. My name is Beatriz Soto. I'm originally from Ecuador/Argentina, and I'm now currently living in Stockholm. I was traveling and I met a man who became my husband. That's why I'm here. And in my journey here, I was telling the women before, I was really led into this space where I felt like a complete stranger, and I felt so lonely and so different. And it was it was just such a deep hole in my soul, not being able to connect with the people the way that I knew. So it really led me to where I am now. And now I loved how you were introducing yourself, // because it really is who we are, right? It really is very hard for us to put ourselves in a box, because that limits us. So right now I'm working as an empowerment coach, feminine empowerment, soul empowerment. I basically help women awaken into their truth, embody their gifts, and really bring them into the world, step into their purpose, step into their divinity. And I think it's very interesting how we've normalized, saying, are you spiritual? Are you spiritual? And it's like, we all are. Maybe we don't practice it enough, but we really all are. So I think it's very important that we become aware of that and bring it more into our being. So I also, by following the energy of my soul, I also stepped out of the box, and I'm doing cacao ceremonies, healing ceremonies, medicine wheel with rapé ceremonies, which is something that I could have, if years ago, if I could have pictured in my mind what I would have been doing, this would have not been it. I didn't know about it. So I did know I want to do retreats. I wanted sisterhood circles, women's circles. That was like so longing, but not in this way. So it's pretty amazing to follow that magic.
So I did a cacao ceremony for the first time in May at a work retreat. So I work for a company called the Gold Digger Girl, and I do human resources for them. And we had a staff and student retreat back in May over in Fort Myers, Florida. And she was doing a women's ceremony. It was a cacao ceremony. And the entire time, I know I should have been focusing on the ceremony, but I was so excited that I was doing this, and I couldn't wait to tell Julieta about it. All I kept thinking about the whole time was like, I've got to go tell Julietta. She's like, I'm so excited that I'm doing this because I know in my mind, I'm like, she has to have done these before because I know her well enough.
Yeah.
And it was so incredible. It was such a great experience. And so if you're listening, our audience, and you have never had the opportunity, I highly encourage you, if you're by Beatrice in Stockholm, find her and do one, or there's, you can find women that are empowering other women by doing these ceremonies. So I would encourage that because they're amazing.
Yeah, we also do them online, actually.
Oh, well, see, there you go. You can just
And can I tell you a funny story? I started getting into cacao ceremonies because when I hired my first mentor to start my business, I saw in her website that she did a blog about cacao ceremonies. And I had no idea what I was doing. I bought like cake topping cacao and I melted it and I sat with my friends and we were like, are we supposed to drink all of this? This is going to give us an ulcer. It was hilarious. We ended up crying anyway. We did some breath work. We did really open up, but it was hilarious. Like, I think I got pimples all over my face. But it was my initiation.
That's awesome. So how long have you been in Stockholm now again?
I've been here now for 7 years.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shall we dive into the questions, ladies?
Yes, let's do it.
Can't wait.
All right. So our first question is, what is your superpower?
I love this question. I feel like my superpower is really being able to find this sense of joy within me and really be in a state of joy and be able to share that and express that and just create a space of joy. I feel like no matter what the scenario is, no matter what I'm going through, no matter even when I'm going through a tough cry or a discussion, or we're in a ceremony and we've all been through something really deep and healing, at the end of the day, I have this very easy ability to just turn it around and bring the joy into that. And interestingly enough, it's all coming back to me. For a long time, I was not very fond of my name, Beatriz. I've always been called Trisi. My brother gave that nickname to me when I was 2 years old. So since I was 2, I've been called Trisi, which was very cute. It was very joyful. So I've never really been connected with my name. I always felt like it was like an older woman kind of spirit name, and I wasn't there. And it was when I started accepting my name and embracing my name that I realized that actually Beatriz means she who brings joy, she who brings happiness, she who, and I've always been that for my family, for my friends, so it's very interesting to tap into all these small symbolisms. Like if we look at our names and the vowels that they carry and the sounds and the vibrations that they carry, they bring that. So it was that moment when I stepped into really embodying my name that I understood this is my truth and it's okay. It's okay to be joyful in a moment of sorrow.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Well, and I think, joy is our natural state and our birthright. And we've just got so caught up into everything that people lose that. So we need people like you to help remind ourselves that joy is our natural state. That's our birthright, where we're meant to be. And yes, it's okay to find the joy even when we're going through challenges, and because it's where we're meant to be. So gratitude that's your superpower. Bring it to the world.
Yes. Doing my best.
All right. Our next question, Beatriz, is what is your favorite book or a book that has greatly influenced your life?
Oh, okay. There has been really so many. And if I can just mention that everything by Abraham Hicks and Neil Donald Walsh, I just really love these books that are channels of light beings and source and just, but there is this special book that it was very interesting how it came to me. Here in Stockholm, I became like my friend's helper to move. Every time a friend needs to move, I'm there. I think I've moved so many times in my life that I know how to pack. I know how to get rid of stuff that we don't need anymore. Like, I'm there. And my friend was moving and she had this book and she was going to throw it away. And I just saw it and I'm like, can I keep it? She's like, yeah. I read it and oh my goddess. It was, and before this podcast, because I knew I had to tap into a book, I read it again. And it really is everything. It brought back all of that again. It really brought back all of that emotionality, all of that sensitivity, all of that truth. And the name of this book is A Journey Home by Creon. This one is in Spanish.
Oh.
But have you read it?
I read all of them.
Oh my goddess, this book. I mean, the name says it all, you know, A Journey Home. It talks about this dark night of the soul, kind of slap in the face, kind of awakening. And we really go through this journey towards self-worth and self-love. And ultimately, this is what we're all about, right? Finding that love within. And only when we find that true sense of love within can we understand what it means to really share it with the world. And I also feel like this is very important because it touches also on, you know, our soul contracts and all of the contracts, not only soul contracts, but all of the whys and what fors and all of the purpose that lies behind everything we experience. And the thing that this book reminded me, and that it was very interesting because when I read it again, it kind of brought me into a deeper purpose. It reminded me that we're not only here to journey home for ourselves, for finding our love. It's for finding our love so that we can remember our oneness, so that we can remember our unity, so that we can remember that we are here for humanity. And I love what you were saying at the beginning of the podcast, that you love how you're here sharing these voices with women and empowering women, because I feel like we've been kind of getting stuck into, because of everything that's been happening with the world, we've gone back to this root survival mode, and we've gone back to fear, and we've gone back to survival instinct, which is exactly what we're expanding against. We were expanding towards expanding humanity and love and deeper expression for all of us, creating service, being of service to the world. But we went back into, so I feel like we've gone back to this like manic manifesting of, I want this job because I'm striving, or I need the money because I'm in lack, right? So we've gone back to manifesting for ourselves, and that is keeping us playing small. So what this book reminded me is that when we go beyond that, the path is much more lighter. When we see ourselves from a broader perspective, when we see ourselves from a bigger perspective, and we understand it's not just about us, it just becomes so much more lighthearted, and we reach out, community, sisterhood, we're in this together. So this book really brought me back home. So I really,
it's a
really
great book. And have you read the other Creon books?
No, I haven't yet.
And of course, like, you know, this book that you're talking about is a story, a parable, you know, with lessons and meaning in there. The other books are just, I shouldn't say just, the other books are channelings from Creon. And so much like you had mentioned, Neil Donald Walsh, the Conversations with God, those are channeled messages. The Seth books are Abraham Hicks, it's channeled message. Like they all resonate so well with me. So check them out. You will love them as well. But sometimes messages like they're more powerful and have more meaning when they're presented in a story. So
Exactly. That was what was different about this book. I've read all of these other channel books, which, as you were saying, they speak my language. But when I read this one, it was such a simple parable that I related to the character. I really went into the story. I cried when he cried, and it was really, really powerful. I really recommend it.
nice.
Yeah. I recommended
All right.
it to my mom. She was reading it with me. I recommended it to my sister. She started reading it with me. So
Well, and it's a short, I'm going to say easy read, even though that, there's a lot of depth there, but it is a short, fast read that will move your soul. Love it. All right. We need to get on. Next question is, and I'm like, I think you've already shared a lot, but let's hear, what is your favorite self-love practice?
Woo, okay. My favorite self-love practice at this moment and for the past couple of 2 years, I would say, is setting truthful boundaries. I feel like I understood for so many years that my love language was giving and giving and giving and giving because I have so much love to give. And it was a way of me to not only show you that I love you, being there for you and giving you everything I need, but it was also, I understand now that it was my way of allowing and creating balance and peace. Not because I don't like discussions but because I bring that. I always had that role in my family or in my relationships, so it was my peacekeeper, not creating boundaries for myself. It was like, whatever you need. So now it really is like more and more standing in a place where I create loving boundaries, where I can really say no, and hopefully the other person understands. Hopefully the other person knows where I'm coming from, and just being able to stand in my truth. But the interesting thing is that in order for me, from having no boundaries at all, I had to go to the complete opposite of saying no to everything, like no, 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 until I could find the balance of what really is a good, healthy boundary, so that I could understand where I'm saying this really from, I really don't want this for my life and my body, or from just wanting to set a boundary because I need it. So it's really been an interesting journey. And I feel like it's important for us to deepen what self-love practices are, to really understand that.
And I love how you say it's a journey, because so often, as women, we tend to fall into the perfectionist syndrome. And so if I'm going to do something, I have to do it perfectly. And, like, okay, so we understand, we set boundaries, and then we get to practice that skill and get better at it and better at it and better at it until it becomes something that we just do naturally, effortlessly, to honor ourselves. But it is a journey to get there. It's not like you wake up one day and decide, I'm going to set boundaries and expect you to just be perfect at it. But it's a skill that you practice and you get better and better at. So I like that.
And also bringing in the self-love in this part is about, there will be a lot of people that won't understand. There will be a lot of people, even my family has said to me, you've changed. You're not the same person you were. And it's like, yeah, I know. And I'm going to keep changing. Like, please bear with me. I need to stand in this right now. So it can be challenging because the outside will not understand. So it requires standing in your power no matter what. And that's also a self-love practice, even when you're not sure of what you're doing.
And I would even add to that, with your children, set boundaries, because if you don't, you pay later. I know from experience. So yeah, you gotta be realistic and set boundaries. I think that's one of the things as women, we are such caretakers and we want to do it all and take care of everybody and make it all work. And, and you can only do that for so long, and you can only keep it up for so long. Right. And then you start to wear out. So, and I appreciate like when you said, you have family members are like, you're not the same. Like, I hear that from my kids now. They're like, but mom, you used to do that. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't anymore. So there you go. It's just how it is. So
Well,
I think,
I think that people would ever think that you should stay the same for the duration
I
of your
know
life. Like,
it's
no, we
weird.
should always be changing and
Mhm.
evolving. And if you're not, what's the point of being here?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Our fourth question, Beatrice, and this came out of, we surveyed our audience before we started this and, to find out what do they want support with. And something that we all, are challenged by is creating accountability so that we can accomplish everything that we're here to do. So how do you create accountability for you?
I create accountability in many ways. One of the first ways that I create accountability is sharing with my husband, my family, and my close friends. Not just anyone, but my close friends. Mostly whenever I want to bring something new, I'm very careful about who I share things with, because I want to share it with someone who can hold that vibration and who can hold that vision with me, and who knows me in a way that they will not come with their fears, because this is something also that we have to be a little bit careful. When we ask for advice for someone, always know that everybody's coming from where they're at. So take it with very like a pinch of salt. But the way I create accountability is share it with my closest people, because the moment I share it, then I know they will ask me, so how did it go with this? How did it go with that? And I don't want to feel in my body that sensation of, oh, I didn't do it, or oh, I didn't. I also have a business partner. I have my own business, but I have a sister that I do other things with. We have a conscious life center here close by, and we have a sisterhood online, and we create about accountability by creating the sisterhood and reaching out to each other. And also a mentor or a coach. I always make sure that I have this person not only being there for me, but helping me tap into the tools so that I can create accountability for myself. Because ultimately, I can like reach out to all these people, but if I don't create that for myself, then nobody else will. So she is there helping me to keep that strong for myself and helping me to remove all the things that takes me away from that. But definitely have support. It's key, and it makes it easier, and it makes it more fun, and it helps with finding new ways. And yeah,
Absolutely. All great tools. And I think Alice and I use all of those tools. And so excellent. It's time for takeaways, Allison. Do you have your takeaway?
I do have my takeaway. So it's kind of a combination from our interview right now and actually a previous interview, just something that kind of reoccurringly has been coming up in my life a lot lately. And I find when those things happen, you need to pay attention, right? So I think one of the things that I know that I'm working through and that I need to get clear on is really, it combines with setting boundaries and knowing my why, like why I'm doing what I'm doing, and making sure that when I'm doing things that they fall in within those boundaries and that passion and drive that I have. So, and I have, it's been, and that takes time. And it's like you said, it's like a journey. It's not something that happens like, I didn't have a day where I went, oh my gosh, that's it. I mean, I kind of did, you kind of work through it. And so I think for me is just really getting clear on my boundaries. And I think that's important for all women, whatever they are, boundaries within your family and your business, whatever it is, you definitely need to have those boundaries. And I think you need to be true to yourself and true to what you believe in. And you get help with that with accountability partners like this one, pointing at Julietta. And like you said, Beatrice, working with coaches is all of that. It's very helpful in all of that. So
You took away everything from the show.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. It's a great show. What do you want me to tell you? And some from the previous one.
It was a great show. My takeaway is I need to go back and reread some Cryon because it's been so many years. Like I don't even remember when. I know, and that like now, like even during the show, I've been trying to think of who it was that introduced me to Cryon, and like it has to be at least 15, if not more, years ago that I read that. And so it's like, it's time for a refresher course. I need to go back and read that. So I'm excited that you brought that up. So what is your takeaway from the show, Beatriz?
My takeaway, what really, really came up again, which has been coming really strong these past just few days actually, is really opening myself up to receive the guidance to create or to manifest more from a higher perspective, from a perspective of service, from a perspective of what's best for humanity. Like, I'm here to serve humanity, not just to satisfy my human needs and have the money and the job and the house and the this or the that. That will help and make it easier and more fun, but really stepping into my next steps from a place of what wants to really come through me in the service, highest good for humanity and therefore for myself, because I'm part of that. So manifesting from that bigger amplified sense from the heart and not from the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yes. We all need to live from our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Much more. Mm-hmm. Awesome. This show has been so full of amazing nuggets for everyone. So thank you for joining us from Stockholm, Beatriz.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. And it was a pleasure to talk to you. When I've been listening to their podcast, I was like, I want these women to be my new best friends.
We have friends all over the world now. It's so exciting.
It is very exciting. So we also want to thank all of our listeners out there. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe, follow, like, and share this with your goddess friends out there. Also, if you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you can go to our website, which is dotgpodcast.com. And there's a form there you can fill out to request to be a guest on our show. Because like we said, everybody out there has a message to share. Even if you think you don't, you do. Trust me, you do. And if you want to get a hold of Beatriz or Allison or myself, all of our contact information, our social media, all of those good things are in the show notes. You can find out how to access us there. So I want to wish all of you a magical, magical day. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much.